They told you the world was full of wolves. They told you to become cold, unreadable, dangerous. They gave you 7 rules and called it power. And maybe it worked. For a while, you stopped trusting people. You started scanning every smile for a hidden blade. You built walls so thick that nothing could get in. You called it armor. But here's what they didn't tell you. Nothing could get out either. You've been lied to. Not with obvious lies, with seductive ones. The kind that feel like wisdom when you're hurting. The kind that sound like strength when you're actually afraid. They took your pain, your betrayal, your very real wounds, and handed you a system that promised to protect you. But what it actually did was turn you into the very thing you feared. And the worst part? You're exhausted, constant calculating, the never letting your guard down, treating every person in your life like a chess piece. That's not power. That's prison. And today, we're breaking out. This video isn't going to coddle you either. It's going to tell you what Machiavellian content never could. The truth about why that game costs more than it pays. And what real strength actually looks like. These are 7 counter-truths. They will challenge everything you've been told. They will feel uncomfortable because they're real. Let's begin. They told you. Perception is more powerful than truth. Craft your image like a weapon. Here's what that actually produces. A person who has forgotten who they are. Think about it. Every relationship you have is now a performance. Every room you walk into requires a mask. You can't relax, not fully, because you're always managing what people see. You've become so obsessed with being unreadable that you've made yourself unknowable, even to yourself. The people who sustain real power are deeply, ruthlessly self-aware, not self-concealing. They know their values, they know their limits, and because they know who they are, they can't be destabilized by other people's opinions. They don't need to hide. Their identity isn't a weapon. It's an anchor. Authenticity isn't naivety. It's the most advanced form of self-command there is. When you stop performing, you stop being controlled by it. When you drop the mask, you become impossible to manipulate because there's nothing fake for them to grab onto. Drop this in the comments. I know who I am. That's enough. I told you. Never rely on loyalty. Build leverage instead. Let me ask you something real. Do you have people in your life right now? Genuine people who you trust without a contingency plan? Or have you slowly cleared them all out? Replaced by connections you keep for what they can do. Leverage-based relationships are transactional, and transactional relationships are hollow. You know this. You've felt it. That quiet loneliness underneath all the strategy. That hunger for someone who actually knows you, not the version you perform. Here's the hard truth. The Machiavellian system told you real connection was weakness. But real connection is the only thing that actually sustains you. Not leverage, not networks. People who genuinely care whether you wake up tomorrow. You don't build those with pressure and control. You build them with discernment, learning to choose right people. Set real boundaries and let them in carefully but fully. That requires more courage than building leverage ever did. And it produces something leverage never can. Peace. Drop this in the comments. Real strength can be trusted. Real strength can trust. They told you. Strategy over emotion. Whoever stays calm controls the pace. There's something true in this. Impulsive reactions do hurt. But they took a real insight and turned it into sickness. Calculating every word as data isn't strategy. That's hypervigilance. That's what trauma does to the nervous system. When you can't be present without analyzing it, you can't receive care without looking for the angle. Not power. That's a wound running your life. Real emotional intelligence isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about processing it so it stops driving you. The most effective people aren't the coldest ones. They're the most self-regulated, and those are different things. One is a wall. The other is a foundation. You can be calm and fully human. You can be strategic and genuinely kind. You can protect yourself and let people in. These aren't contradictions. They're the whole point. Drop this in the comments. I don't need to control everything. I just need to know myself. They told you, power is taken, not given. Demand nothing. Command everything. Here's what actually commands a room. Someone who doesn't need to. Someone so secure in who they are that they're not performing dominance or signaling status. They're just present, fully, quietly, unmistakably present. The people who actually change things in this world. Ones who build things that last. They don't take power. They grow into it through competence, through consistency, through genuine care for outcomes beyond themselves. The Machiavellian version of power is brittle. It depends entirely on people being afraid or needing you. The moment that fear lifts, your power disappears. You have to constantly maintain the threat. That's exhaustion. Real authority is earned through character. And character, unlike leverage, doesn't expire. Drop this in the comments. I build something real. That's where my power comes from. They told you, never bleed in front of wolves. Kill in silence. Present yourself as steel. This one has probably cost you the most. Because you took that advice and stopped asking for help. You started processing alone or not at all. And you called it strength. You called it discipline. But unprocessed pain doesn't disappear. It migrates. It shows up as rage at the wrong moment, as numbness in your relationships, as bone-deep tiredness. Research on this is unambiguous. Emotional suppression increases anxiety. It damages health, degrades decisions, and destroys intimacy. None of that is strength. All of it is suffering. Vulnerability is not the same as weakness. Vulnerability with the wrong people is unwise, yes, but vulnerability with the right people is what heals you. And healed people don't need armor. They need tools. Tools are 1,000 times more useful than walls. You are allowed to feel what happened to you. You are allowed to need support. That is not prey behavior. That is being powerfully human. Drop this in the comments. My healing is not weakness. It is the most strategic thing I can do. They told you, people's deepest craving becomes their leash. Design the menu. Control the choice. Let me be direct with you. If you started studying people's insecurities, dangling what they want to maintain control, stop and notice something. How do you feel about the people around you? Do you like them? Do you feel warmth for them? Or do you mostly feel contempt? That contempt is the cost. Every time you manipulate someone, you lose respect for them. And when you can't respect anyone, you can't respect yourself. The worldview feeds on itself until you're isolated, surrounded by connections you orchestrate, and close to no one. Influence built on genuine value and honest communication. That influence is sustainable. It builds things. The other kind corrodes everything it touches, starting with you. Drop this in the comments. I influence through value, not through manipulation. They told you, never be too available. Scarcity creates respect. Yes, there is truth in not being a doormat. Your time has value and should be protected. But the Machiavellian version weaponizes this into full withdrawal. What that produces isn't mystique. It's disconnection. You're not hard to get. You're just gone. The people who matter most, do they feel reachable? Or have you made yourself so unavailable that the people who care have stopped trying? Being intentional with your presence is healthy. Being chronically withholding is a trauma response. Intentional boundaries feel clean. Chronic withdrawal feels like hiding. You deserve relationships where you can show up fully, where being present doesn't feel dangerous. That's not achieved by being rare. It's achieved by choosing the right people and being real. Drop this in the comments. I am present with people, fully, without fear. You came to this content because something happened to you. Someone betrayed you. Someone used you. Someone you trusted turned out to be a warning. That pain was real. It still is. But the Machiavellian system monetized your pain. It found you wounded and handed you a cage, took your capacity for connection, and called it liability. It didn't heal your wounds, just gave them sharper edges and called it strength. Real recovery doesn't look like becoming harder to hurt. It looks like learning to see clearly who is trustworthy and who isn't. It looks like becoming wiser, not colder, or discerning, not more defended. The strongest people are not the coldest. They are the most integrated. They've done the work to understand themselves, to heal what needs healing, and show up fully. That's what we build here now. Not mental warfare, mental wholeness. Not how to control people, how to stop needing to. Not emotional armor, emotional intelligence. If this spoke to you like this video, share it with someone who needs it.
And subscribe, because every video from here on
is about building something the old content never could. A life you actually want to live, with people you actually trust, as someone you actually respect. The game they handed you was rigged from the start. The real power move is to stop playing it. Welcome to the other side. Let's build something real.